Good morning, S1, and welcome to our synchronous class this morning. We will be tackling about how to write a quantitative research. So, ito yung discussion natin this morning. And of course, here are our learning objective for today's discussion. So, we will learn one of the most important parts of quantitative research, which is the discussion section. And take note, class, based on our format, discussion um, is part under the chapter 4, no? It's based on SPC's format, along with the conclusion and recommendation. So again, we will be discussing discussion section. So many students think that the discussion section is just repeating the results. Based on what we have discussed last time, results section is located at chapter 3. That's the results part. But take note, discussion section is not about repeating the results. Discussion section explains the meaning of the findings, not just the numbers. So let me clarify the difference. Result section answers like what did the data show? Discussion section answers what do these findings mean? This means that discussion sections interprets, explains, and analyzes the findings in relation to theories, to literature, and word implications. So by the end of the lesson, presenting to you our learning objectives. First, differentiate results and discussion. Second, interpret the findings properly. Yes, nawala ba?
Nawala, sir.
Oh my God. Nanakot siya problem. Sige, thank you for that, no. Paningkamutan na lang nako. Ha? Mawala dito siya ng ano kaya. Thank you, Kyle. Okay, better na lang nako siguro na Google Meet. Google Meet, i-Chrome na lang nako, ha. I will be right back, okay? Ma-view na ba, class? How about this one? Okay na? Okay, thank you. Sige. So since ma-view na siya, so let's continue our discussion. Sige. I hope so. Di na po ni siya mapalya. But anyway, yeah, let me present to you our learning objectives for today's discussion. Mhm. Yan. So I think it's clear naman siguro. So here, no? The discussion section explains the meaning and importance of your statistical findings. Kumbaga pa, no, it is where you answer the question such as why did the result happen? What does this result imply? How these result of yours, no, relate to previous studies. That's why in the discussion part, you need to support your results, no, back up your results with literatures based on the previous studies. And in the discussion also, how this result relate to theory. And lastly, what are the practical implication of the result? Okay? So, next. Take note that the discussion must include the following. First, interpretation of findings. Take note, it mirrors your SOP, the hypothesis decision, comparison to the related literature, connection to theory, explain the implications, and acknowledge limitations. So here, the most important rule in writing discussion, no, we have this golden rule, kumbaga pa. It mirror your results. Again, your discussion must mirror your result. Okay? And take note, no, sabi dito, it mirrors your result. Mm. So if ever, no, this means the order of your discussion must follow the exact order of your SOP. Do not rearrange the order. If your result part, no, kumbaga pa sa results ninyo, if you followed your SOP, like the exact order, in the discussion also, you must follow also the exact order. No? Discuss, your discussion must follow the same order ano yung nasa structure ng results ninyo. You must never rearrange the order so that it ensures a logical flow at the same time the clarity of your paper. Now, one of the most common mistakes students make is repeating numbers. Ayan yung mga common, no? For example, this is wrong, no? The mean score is 3.80 and the standard deviation is 0.90. So, why is this wrong? Because the discussion, nawala na po siya. So, all na po siya class. Sige lang, na-aware ko kayo, ano mangod siya. Okay. Visible na, balik na siya, okay na. Okay. Problemado ang akong Google Chrome. Okay. Sige, let's proceed, no? Nganong mali siya? The discussion is not for repeating numbers. Instead, you must interpret the meaning. Kumbaga pa, the findings suggest that students demonstrate a strong level of competence, for example, in managing inclusive classrooms. Kumbaga pa, no? Noticed that there are no numbers, but instead, it explains the meaning. No, kaya nga, you need to always ask yourself, what does this result mean? What does this imply? No? This is interpretation. Okay? So, ganun dapat ang pag-discuss. Now, if there is hypothesis, kasi class, not all descriptive questions merong hypothesis. So, there's no need to, hindi siya i-require or hindi siya requirement na kailangan may hypothesis naka-state kasi stating hypothesis, no, whether to support or to reject the hypothesis is applicable only for inferential questions. So if the SOP is a descriptive question, it's okay lang na there's no need for us to state the hypothesis kasi hindi man siya requirement. Okay? So if ever nandun na kayo sa inferential questions like asking for relationship, no? Let's discuss hypothesis decision. So hypothesis decision is only required for inferential questions. Inferential questions include asking for relationship, asking for difference, prediction, moderation. No? If the result is significant, you can say the null hypothesis was rejected. Now, do not use the word accept, because in the vocabulary of null hypothesis, it's always been to be rejected. So, we should avoid using the word accept. No? So, I think it was already naman mentioned last time during our class discussion face-to-face, diba, that we will omit using the word accept. Instead, use the word fail to reject or not rejected. Okay, so please take of that one. So we do not accept hypothesis in statistics, no? We only reject or to fail to reject. I understand the context of double negative, but again, in the vocabulary or in the context of stat, yeah, using the word accept in HO is somehow a violation of technicality in the use of in the aspect of hypothesis. Okay, so now let's proceed. If the null hypothesis was rejected, indicating, example tayo, the teacher attitude significantly influences teaching competence. However, if the question is descriptive, such as, example, what is the level of competence? Take note, what is the level of competence do not require you to discuss hypothesis. Because again, it is a descriptive question. So okay lang na walang, sa discussion of part, it's okay not to discuss or state any hypothesis decision because again, hindi man siya required sa descriptive questions. But if your SOP is an inferential question na, then that's the time you must state the hypothesis decision. Next, let's proceed now to the descriptive question, discussion, there's no hypothesis discussion required. Inferential question, hypothesis must be clearly supported or rejected. So common mistakes to avoid, saying accepted instead of failed to reject, forgetting to mention hypothesis decision for inferential results, discussing hypotheses in pre-descriptive sections, you must avoid that one, and writing the decision without explaining what it means. Another things that we need to do in the discussion part is comparings with related literature. No, kumbaga pa, we need to have various literature. Ensure had that these literature of yours are I mean to have a strong backup, or I mean literature, it must be published especially in a reputable journals. Do not use Wikipedia or mga blogspot as your backup literature. Sir, bakit nakalagay dito sa sample mo, sir, na at least 3 supporting studies or to contradicting? Kasi, actually, daghan na gugay na, no, di ba? 5 na tanan, tulo ka supporting, 2 contradicting. To tell you honestly, sa other institution, they required the researcher to have at least 3. No? But, to have, no, a better and nawala na po siya. Ano mawala siya? Sige, ibalik na po na ako. Advocate. Lamig kitag discussion dire niya mawala. Sige. Okay, okay, bumalik na siya. Yan. Okay. So bakit sir, bakit marami? To ensure like that to have I mean credible, no? That is the discussion. And the same time, sir, sorry sir, how about those studies no na limited jud ang literature? That's the time case to case. Gina-accept yung mga at least two literatures that will support, or it's either support or contradict man yun talaga, no? So gina-accept yan siya, especially if the study is very I mean kanang limited siya mismo with regard, I mean limited yung mga literatures nga makuha or ma-cite kasi bago pa, fresh pa masyado. Now, why is this important? It shows that your research is connected to existing knowledge, providing you with more than 2 or 3 literatures or supporting studies or qualifying studies. It could create a better, a strong connection to the existing knowledge. Example tayo, the finding is consistent with Cruz 2023 who found that research anxiety mali ko. Cooper et al. Pala 2023 found that research anxiety significantly predicts students' research intentions supporting the present findings. Yan. Kumbaga pa, it show awareness of existing research. Napunta gibutang dire na contradiction. However, this contradicts Dion 2025 who reported no significant link between research attitude and performance. No? So, kumbaga pa, nakagibutang din na contradicting example. This shows critical analysis. No? Position your findings with scholarly conversation. Yan. Now, sa discussion na part, it depends na sa inyong panelist. No? Kung ano yung mahatag niya na comment. with regard to how many literatures to be used as a backup, no? Connecting to the existing knowledge of your findings of your study. So, the next part is ito, connect to theory. Mhm. Your discussion must connect findings to your theoretical framework. Ano yung theory na nakastate sa paper ninyo? No? So, you must connect it. Theory explains why your findings occurred. For example, in this problem, no? If your theory is TPB or the theory of plant behavior, you explain how attitude influences behavior. Example dito, this finding supports the theory of planned behavior, which posits that attitude significantly influences behavioral extension. And theory strengthens your research. Okay? It strengthens your research. And of course, after connecting to theory, your findings to theory, then you must implications. Explain implications, how your findings can be applied in real life. Kumaga pa, ask, no, what does this mean for teachers? What does it mean for curriculum? What does it mean for policy? And what should institution consider? No? Example, sa example na ko dito nagibutang, the findings, no, this implies that school should provide the findings imply that research instruction should be contextualized within students' specific academic fields to strengthen perceived evidence. Another, AI literacy programs may enhance research engagement when integrated responsibly. Implications must be directly based on your findings. Dili mo dapat magbutang og implication nga dili siya related sa iyong findings. And implications show the usefulness of your research. And, and lastly, okay, we are now in the last part of our discussion. No? We need to acknowledge limitations because take note class, of course, di man na perfect always ang research. Every research has limitations. Limitations are weaknesses beyond your control. No? Example, common limitations, the design. So kung relationship lang yun yung study, of course, no causality happened. Next, self-report bias. Next, single school only or single institution. Next, limited sample size. Yan. Example, the findings should be interpreted cautiously due to the use of self-reported measures, which may be influenced by social desirability bias. Yan. Nawala na pod ko. Let me share it again. Okay, sir. Limitations show research maturity. It's not weaknesses, no? And through this, it shows honesty and professionalism. Okay? So let's go back now. Let's have the standard paragraph or formula for writing discussion. State the interpretation, state hypothesis decision, compare with literature, connect to theory, explain the implications, state limitations. And take note, avoid these mistakes. Repeat numbers, copy tables, introduce new variables, change order of research questions, ignore theory, ignore literature, and overgeneralize of findings. You must avoid that one. Discussion must remain analytical, at the same time professional. Okay? So, and before that, no, kumbaga pa, the final checklist before submitting your discussion, did I interpret instead of repeating numbers? Yan. Did I state whether each hypothesis was supported? Yan. Did I include recent related studies? Advisable 2020 and above. But it's understandable that we cannot have a ng mga literatures good kay na mga available pa 2016, no? Di ba sabi ko 10 years yung gap? Okay pa 2016. Did I connect findings to theory? Did I provide practical implications? Did I acknowledge limitations? And lastly, did I follow the SOP order? If yes to all, then your discussion is strong. Presenting to you is sample SOP together with the corresponding guide that we have discussed earlier. Yan. Presented here, and then, and so on and so forth. So, you can use this guide, no, in constructing your discussion soon. Of course, naka-itemize man eh, pero of course, in writing your discussion, naka-paragraph gina. Naka-paragraph gina siya. So, ano lang, kung naka-itemize doon, gipakita ko lang doon na ito yung di ba 6 items man yung flow natin in discussion, in writing discussion. Okay? So, that's all for our lesson 9. And at this moment, let's proceed now to lesson 10. Okay, so mubo ra po ding lesson 10 because lesson 10 focuses on how to writing conclusions in quantitative research, which we are done in discussion. Let's proceed to conclusion. Take note, class, focus tayo sa quantitative research. For qualitative research class, walang conclusion but implication of the S3. Again, for the for the ano tawag dyan natin, for the qualitative research, walang conclusion na it's implication of the study. So, let's proceed to the writing conclusion. Mabuo ra. Conclusion. Nakakonect ni siya sa Nakakonect ni siya sa okay. Nakita na ko balik. Nagapon ko, no? Okay, sige, thank you. So, nawala. Okay. Nakuan siya, na-disconnect siya sa ko ang second monitor. But yeah, let's proceed to writing discussion. So, ano nga ba yung nasa discussion na part, no? Many students confuse conclusion with the discussion and recommendation, but take note that yung discussion, conclusion, and recommendation, they have their own purposes. May mga purpose yun siya. So ano nga ba yung under ng purpose ng under sa discussion, sa conclusion? Sorry, conclusion na pala tayo. So yeah, the conclusion answer this question. No? Kumbaga pa, ano yung tanong na sasagutin natin sa conclusion? Based on the results, what has been proven? That's the question. No? Based on the result, what has been proven? Yan yung kailangan natin sasagutan under conclusion. No? Based on the result, what has been proven? So now, the conclusion summarizes the major findings and the conclusion shows what your study has established and contributed. Wait lang, klasa, nawala na po siya. Okay. Akin, hala, nabalik na siya. Okay, so let's continue. Nawala gid ang akong screen during a part. So again, sinabi ko kanina, the conclusion is important because it shows what your study has established and contributed to the body of knowledge. Wala pa. And class, the main purpose of conclusion is ito. Go back to your research questions, summarize the major findings, explain the meaning of your findings, and explain the implication of findings. However, there are important things that you must not do. First, you must not repeat detailed statistics. You must not include p-values. You must not include tables. And lastly, you must not include recommendation. The conclusion summarizes and explains but does not recommend actions. Recommendations belong to recommendation section. May separate section tayo for recommendation. Okay? So here, and class, no? Your conclusion must follow the exact order of your SOP. Example, no, if nakakitulo ka SOP, then you must have three conclusions. And conclusions must also have three answers. Again, ha? Your conclusion must follow the exact order of your SOP. Na example na ako gibutang direct. Kung kani duha ka buok, if nakaduha ka SOP, napukid duha ka konklusyon, no? And there are two formats for writing conclusion, naka-itemize o naka-paragraph form. It depends na siya sa inyong mentor or panel kung ano yung gagamitin. It's either naka-itemize or naka-paragraph. Okay? Again, always align your conclusion with your research questions. Nakuha? And class, ito yung iti-take note natin. Each conclusion must contain the three components. Una, key findings. Pangalawa, interpretation. Pangatlo, implication. So these are the key components of a good conclusion. Please take note of that one. Okay? So here, yan. Ito yung sample natin. No? Una, example SOP, what is the level of academic stress? Is there a significant relationship between stress and academic performance? That means you must have two conclusion also. Kung naka-paragraph form naman, ito yung sample natin. Na? So important reminder, answer each research question clearly, summarize the main findings, explain what findings mean, discuss implication, do not introduce new data, and do not include recommendation. Nakuha? And the conclusion section is important because it clearly states what your study has proven. It shows the value and contribution of your research. And your ability to write a clear conclusion, it reflects your understanding of your findings. So ito lang yung, kumbaga pa, key formula to remember in writing your conclusion. Go back to your research question. What is the key finding of each research question? What's the meaning and what's the implication? And you can have now a good conclusion. Ganon. Okay? So, ganon lang kamubo yung writing conclusion. And let's proceed now to the last part of our discussion, the writing recommendation. Okay? But take note in quali, don't recommend. Walang recommendation sa quali. Implication of the studied ang last part of the quali section. So at this moment, let's discuss writing recommendation in quantitative research. So let me share with you my presentation, the PDF file I posted. Yan. I do hope it's already visible. I need a thumbs up reaction if maklaro na ba siya dito. Maklaro na ba ang akin. So much for the confirmation. So wait for a while, kinag-buffer ang akong internet. Ano man yung Nagalags. But anyway, let's discuss now the last part of our discussion, which is writing recommendation. And this is the last section of your chapter 4. Ang chapter 4 ha, writing discussion, conclusion, and recommendation. So, now that we know the results and what should be done, so of course, no, the recommendation must be based on conclusion. Must be align your significance of the study. Sige makita ang significance of the study sa chapter 1. Nanawari. Naputol. Okay, wait lang. Kaya naputol siya diri. Okay. Naputol siya. Tani akong screen. Sige. So let's continue again. Recommendation section, no? Kumbaga pa, it is where the part of your paper can recommend based on the findings of your study. Diyan na yun siya makikita. Ano yung ma-recommend ninyo based sa results ng study. You must align your recommendation based on your study. No? Basta magbuhat mo recommendation mga wala mis dili magpataka. Ako ha? Magpataka mag-recommend. Ano mag-recommend mo ani? Ito yung study. Yan. Always okay? Pero, perfect. Gusto mo sa panahon. Okay. Nag-ano magugod, nag-altab ko kinay nag-join. But anyway, mas na importante. Adi there. Ako ha? But of course, nawala siya. Here na, Nana. Next. Okay. So here, align your recommendation with the significance of the study. Study that can benefit your administrators, your teacher, your students, your teachers, the policymakers, no? Kumbaga pa, the recommendation section, it answers these important question. Kabalo namin sa result, what should be done? No? This recommendation provide a specific actions based on the findings and conclusion of your study. And it is very important because it shows how your research can be applied in real life. Wala lang talang buhat og research para mapasaan nga subject. But of course, the practical application of your research, no? Integrating to real life. Yan. Or nawala na po siya. Sige, may kawala. Stress na kuha niya. Ha? Sige. Wala ba siya na-reflect last? Okay, salamat. Ibalik na. Now, here, the structure of good recommendation, no? Who, what, and purpose. Kumbaga pa, no? Who are those, these are the three components that we must consider. Kumbaga pa, kinsa ang imong target holder na i-recommend. Then what should be done and why it should be done. Yan, no? And ano, who are those stakeholders na ma-recommend ninyo? Second, what should be done, the action to be taken. The second one, yan. So take must be practical, specific, and always go back, no, based on the findings of your study. And it must be aligned with your beneficiaries that can be found in your significance of the study. Yan. And of course, avoid this one, no? Teachers should improve teaching. Oh, kaya wag recommendation ay example of vague recommendation, no? Teachers should improve teaching. Sige daw, usa may better na to nga statement ana para ma-improve, no? Kana yung recommendation, teachers should improve teaching. Kaya po recommendation ninyo ay that's a very weak or vague recommendation. A better recommendation is this. Kumbaga pa, teachers are encouraged to participate in professional development programs to enhance instructional competence. In that kind of recommendation, it's very clear and it's very specific. And yung recommendation na mention ko, it is aligned mismo sa findings ng study. No? Kasi sabi ng teacher should improve teaching. Siguro problem sa teaching competence ng teacher silang study, no? So but that kind of statement is very vague. So better no sa pag-construct, no? Teachers are encouraged to participate in competence. And other things that we must avoid. First, repeating the conclusion. Example, the study found high competence. No, this is a conclusion, not a recommendation. Second thing to avoid, making unrealistic suggestion. Example, siguro nakita sa study na kulangan og classroom. Example, government should build 1,000 schools. No, it's for me it should be, no, but for me it's not realistic siguro if agad-agad. Yan. Another, giving unrelated advice. Take note, recommendation must be based on findings. Yan. Writing vague recommendation, yung study ko, example, more studies are recommended. Tapos, yan. No? Example, to make it clear, example, for future researches, it is recommended, no, example, to examine the influence of teacher motivation on using competence. No? Yan. Class recommendation, no? Take note of this one. It shows how your research can be used to improve education, to improve practice. Kung experimental mo, it must be used, no, for the betterment. Be practical. And your recommendation transforms the research findings into real the and the value of the recommendation. And lastly, before we will end, kumbaga pa ito yung pinaka-important na thing na kailangan natin i-consider, the arrangement of your recommendation, no? Based siya sa ganito. Ano yung arrangement niya dapat? Ang pinaka sa study Okay? Pinaka-direct. Second, last, kumbaga pa, from greatest to least. Yung arrangement niya. So, to tell you, the last part sa recommendation is always yun siya for future researches. Mo dyan ang mapansin ninyo. No? If ever makahanap kayo ng mga published studies na recommendation, always mahanap yung sa part is yung for future researches. Yan. Yan yung last part ng recommendation. And class, take note is one of the sources of yun yung basis ng ibang researches. Bakit sila nag-conduct ng study? Because again, that's based on recommendation. Aside yung sinabi doon no, ng mga type of research gap, methodological gap, ano yung klaseng type of gaps natin, but recommendation can be used as a gap, no, for other researchers, no, for them to conduct a study. So you must create a recommendation that is very practical and very realistic. Okay? And that concludes our discussion this morning. Any concern